Starbella Flirt is the newest trend in ruffling yarns. It's a lightweight polyester fabric with a ladder edge. When you open it up, it looks like this. The ribbon edge is about 1 inch wide, and then it has the netting edge on it. So in another video, I'm going to show you how to pick up the spaces on the netting edge to create a ruffled scarf. And I'm also going to do a video that shows you how to do a little rosette that you can embellish necklaces with, or make hair bows out of. So let me go through the colors with you. This one is called Black Spot, and this is a number 6 bulky weight yarn, and it's a hand wash yarn, and there's 24 yards in the skein, and that's plenty to make one scarf the way I'm going to show you how to do it. So this one is called Serengeti. I love that aqua color. And this one is called Sahara. And this one is called Moscow with the blues in it. They'll look really good with a black outfit. This one's called Rattlesnake. And this one is called Bengal. And then this one is called Night. So these are available at maggiescrochet.com, and thank you very much for watching. So to create a scarf using Starbella Flirt, you will need a crochet hook, and it really doesn't matter what size you use, as long as you don't, I found that using hooks that are a little bit smaller, like an H or anywhere up to maybe an I, are fine. You could even use, because basically you're going to be working on that strand right there, and it's kind of a small strand. So you need a crochet hook, and I'm using the Deborah Norville wood crochet hook, size H. And then it helps to have 2 stitch markers, especially if you're a beginner. When I make mine now, I don't need these, but a lot of people do need them. And then something to cut with. So I have my scissors handy. So let's get started. So you're going to be working on the net side, and you just fold over the first 3 boxes over the second set of 3 boxes like this, and you line them up, and then you insert your hook from front to back through the first set of boxes, and then you come back around to the front and go through this second set of boxes, and then back around the front and through the third set of boxes. So that kind of folds in the rough edge there, and you can go back and snip this just a little. Now what I want you to do next is to skip 2 boxes and pick up the third box. I mean the third, the strand from the third box. So skip 2, pick 1 up, and I only picked up 2 additional ones because I have all those strands from the beginning. So I'm going to keep the last loop on my hook like this, and then I'm going to put my finger in there between the last loop and the rest of the loops, and then I'm going to put my thumb on this side, and I'm going to turn the head of my hook down and pull that through, and my hook flew off there. Alright, I think I can get it back on there. I lost my, okay, I'm going to do a little recovery work there. So it fell off, and I lost my first 2 everything past my first 2 sets of loops. So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go into the third, and that was my beginning setup. So I'm going to skip 2, pick up, skip 2, pick up, and skip 2, pick up. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to leave that last loop on my hook. I'm going to gather these together like this. I'm going to turn the head of my hook down and bring that through the remaining loops on my hook like that. Alright, that's the first little gather. I'm going to skip the next 2, and I'm going to pick up 5 new loops. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, same thing. I'm going to put that down in the head of the hook. I'm going to bunch all these together. I'm going to turn the head of my hook down and bring it through the loops on my hook, just like that. So you just keep doing that. And if you want a scarf that is over, maybe, I don't know what the average scarf is, maybe at least 3 to 4 feet long, you don't want to pick up any more than the 5 loops because there's only 24 yards in the skein. But I worked out the math on this whole thing, and you'll have plenty if you only are picking up 5 loops. If you want a fuller scarf, you can pick up more loops, but keep in mind you may have to have a second skein of yarn and add that on. So you just continue, and the other thing you might want to play around with is instead of skipping just 2 loops, you might skip 3 and just you know, get creative with it and do something. A lot of times crocheters create their own way of doing things, and a lot of times it turns out even better than something you learn or something somebody else shows you. So that way, if you skipped 3 loops instead of 2, this would stick out more. You know, it would actually be probably a little more lay a little bit lighter in the scarf, not be so bunched up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, I'm going to keep that last one on there. Bring all these over that. Now, if you're having a hard time with this, you can always lift each loop over the last loop, like this. Jen in our office does it that way. I have her make up my models for me sometimes, and that's the way she likes to do it. So if you're more comfortable lifting each loop over, that's fine. Oh, and let me show you how to use the stitch markers. So let's say I just finished this one, brought it through. I'm going to put a stitch marker in there before I do my next set of loops. So let's say I skip 3, okay, last loop, bring the rest of the loops over, including the loop that has the stitch marker on it, like that. And then I put the next stitch marker on like this. Okay, then I bring up my next set of loops. Okay, then I bring all those through. Okay, then I can go back and take out the first stitch marker there. And then put that in the last one I just worked. And I can just keep rotating these two. So you might want to play around too. Just pick up 2 loops. Just see what this looks like all different ways. And you can see how you could just sew this onto a little barrette or something like that and use this ruffle for different things. Possibilities are endless. So let me take this out of here. And I'm going to go back to this one here. The other thing this helps with is if you want to set your project down, this will keep it locked. And everything you see me using here is available at maggiescrochet.com. So if I was ready to finish off, I would take this whole strand here and cut it about 2 or 3 inches out like that. And then I would bring that whole strand, you might want to roll it or whatever, but it should work. And you just yarn over with that whole strand and bring the last loop over that strand like this. and then just pull it. That's all you got to do. And you may want to, for extra security, you might want to take this, wrap it around your finger like that, and then just tie a knot with it at the bottom. Like that. Okay. And then cut it to about maybe a little less than an inch. And then the ruffles will hide that little knot in there. So that's how you make a ruffled scarf using Starbella Flirt. And thank you very much for watching. And I hope that you subscribe to our channel and visit maggiescrochet.com. Turn back over here, and I'm going to knit off one more stitch like this. Put it over here, tighten over the whole strand of yarn, and then pull that strand of yarn all the way through. And then just for extra security,